Tonight we are going to talk a little bit about this tense, is present tense. Is when the actions begin or start in the past but continue happening just nowadays, currently. Yes, currently the action uh, are happening. Yes, they start in the past but continues until now. Yes, the action that when I want to express that kind of ideas, I need to use the present perfect. Okay, the present perfect is the tense appropriate to describe that kind of situations. Yes, for example, I start to learn English since 1997. Yes, that action start in the past, but today continue. Yes, but today continue. Maybe I try to join the past with the present. Yes, when I want to describe yes this kind of action which starts in the past, um, even today continue. I need to use or I should to use sorry, I should use present perfect. Okay, but here, in order to use this tense, we need to learn the verbs in the past participle. Yes, and here happens something special because you are going to we face this situation is the verbs. As you know, there are regular verb and irregular verbs. So with regular verbs is easier because we need just to add ed or just d. Yes, it's the most common um, situation. But with irregular verbs, it's a little bit more complicated because we need to learn them by heart. Yes, by heart. Why? Because they don't have any pattern. Yes, or we can use just a rule uh, which can determine how to follow the correct way to do that. Or yes, they don't have a parent. So as they don't have a parent, I have to learn by heart. Yes. Okay. Because for example, uh, I start is regular. For example, in this case, I start to learn English. Yes, since 1997, for example. Yes. Okay. In this case, is easy because the verb start just I need to add ed. It's easy. Yes. But when the verbs are irregular, they are changing. Yes. Depends on the tense we are going to talk. For example, in the present, yes, the verb is has a form, but in the past, simple past, the verb has other form, and the past participle maybe they change again. Yes, so it's a little bit more difficult. Sorry, it's a little bit more difficult to learn the irregular verbs in order to construct or build sentence in uh, the present perfect. Okay, like in this case, we were talking about this structure. We work on this structure, and I want to explain in a deeper way this kind of things which happen in this tense and with these structures. Okay, so it's something that we have to take into account when we try to speak in this tense, because we have to be careful in order to don't make mistakes. Yes, For example, okay, the verb eat. Okay, in the present, I eat, and I eat an apple, for example. But in the past, I ate an apple. But in the present perfect tense is I have eaten an apple. Yes, the action starts in the past, but even here in the present continue. I have eaten an apple. Yes, and yes, I link the past with the present, which the action is currently developing or happening. Sorry, or happening. Yes. So this verb, yeah, it is irregular verb because it changes in this first tense, second tense, and third tense. Yes, in the present, past, and past participle. The verb is changing. So we have to learn the verbs in the any of these tense in order to speak in a correct way, in appropriate way. Because if we, in the case, for example, just learn the verb in present, we are going to speak or we are going to sound strange. Your English, my English, or our English, it's not going to sound or it's not going to sound perfect or in good way. Yes, because it's going to sound a little bit weird. Yes, because all the time we are going to speak in present, so it's not correct. So we need to try to learn the verbs in different tenses. It depends of the situation or the need that I have when I'm talking, because of course we need to explain things or to say different things, ideas, concepts, whatever that we want to say or express, and we need to move, yes, among tenses. So it's mandatory to learn the verbs in different tenses in order to express our ideas the correct way, even to understand. Yes, because when the native English speaker, of course, use their spoken English, and we are listening, we need to know those things because, of course, if we want just learn the verbs in present when, for example, they move to the past or past participle, we are not going to understand clear because we need to learn. It's mandatory to learn the verbs. Okay, okay, guys. So please, I want to encourage you to continue. Yes, practicing this chart of verbs, irregular verbs. Maybe I don't know exactly how many they are. But I think it's maybe around 3,000, sorry, 300, more, a little more than 300 irregular verbs. Okay, so it's maybe long process because, okay, they have different categories. For example, we learn, or maybe we can do this exercise of to get this knowledge, or to learn these verbs. For example, okay, the verbs I start, for example, is my recommendation. You can start, okay, the verbs which in the three tense are the same. For example, let, the verb let, permitir in Spanish, okay, is the same in the three tenses, okay? Or for example, cut. Yes, in Spanish the verb cortar is the same. And there are a lot of them. So maybe they are the easier to learn. In any of them, the pronunciation change. It depends on the tenses. For example, to read, read, read. You pronounce it like red color. Yes, red, red. The verb read in the present, read in the past, and read in the past participle. Yes, you can read equal in the same way, but you need to learn, yes, be able to express the in different way. Yes, with the it depends, and the people are going to understand you are speaking in past simple or past participle. Yes, this is the difference. Okay, okay. Maybe the other categories you can part your knowledge or your learning of those verbs is, for example, when you okay uh, seek the verbs, for example, or see the verbs, they are equal in the, for example, in the present and in the past or in the past. You are going to find different forms or different kind of verb. They are similar in the, or just add one letter. For example, in the first column and in the third column. Okay, in the present and the past participle, just add one letter. Okay, they are easier. Okay, I'm going to work on this category. Okay, in this way, you are going to do this process a little bit easier. Yes, and yeah, it is mandatory to do that, because if you want to learn English and understand English, it's mandatory that we learn the irregular verbs in order to have the ability or be capable to move in different tenses. Okay, and when we want to express in different tenses, we are going to do it in normal way without hesitate or something like that. Yeah, so please learn, begin to do that, start to do that. What are you waiting for to do that? Okay, so uh, do it. Don't hesitate to start to do that. Okay, because it's very, very important, and you are going to be able to express or your spouse your ideas without hesitate, clear, automatically. Yes, and you are going to get confidence at the time to talk on public. Yes, because your English is going to be better, and yeah, you are going to feel comfortable speaking in English, and you maybe don't want to lose the chance to practice your English every time you have the opportunity or something like that, because you feel comfortable and you feel with enough confidence or something like that. So yeah, you are going to be with enough motivation, and maybe you are going to have the right mindset or something like that. And yeah, and you are going to enjoy it practicing your English. Okay, that is the stage that we want to get. So it's really wonderful, marvelous, yes, to do that. When we want to practice our English, and when we want to speak in English, and we want to face any challenge that we have or our life uh, maybe brings us, yes, we are going to do that without hesitate or no fear at the time to do that, because we have enough confidence and right mindset, and yes, and we are going to have a big range of vocabulary, and we are going to feel comfortable. That is the idea. Okay, guys, this is my recommendation for tonight. So thank you so much for being here. It has been a big pleasure to me.